Let's talk about the format. So Tom kind of did a similar thing with his YouTube video. Basically, this format is how everything should go. You're gonna have a hook or a lead-in. You're gonna have a headline or a hook, and you're gonna have a lead-in, you're gonna have a couple bullet points, and then you're gonna have a call to action at the end. Okay? So the hook. The hook is the way that we overcome someone's extremely short attention span. It is I get 3,000 emails a day, why am I clicking yours? Is the real question. Okay? How is this one good enough to stand out above the rest? How do I intrigue somebody to be like, I gotta click on this thing, right? So I'm gonna encourage someone to open, and I'm gonna be able to stand out from the sea. Okay? So how are we gonna do it? We're gonna focus on I'm gonna just give you guys templates so you can just plug and play. Okay? The other thing too is, I'll show you a couple prompts at the end for ChatGPT, where you write one, you're just like, write me some more, write you some more, and you're like, I like these two, I'm gonna just pair these two together, that one's sick. And it kind of doesn't work for you, okay? So the hook, focus on the benefit that this person wants, okay? Create a little bit of intrigue, use powerful language. So if you guys wanna know what powerful language is, you can just type in marketing power words on Google. It'll give you a list of like 300 words that are like the most powerful words used in marketing. And you can look and go, that one looks pretty good. I'm gonna use that word instead of big, maybe it's ginormous, or an alternative word to really stand out, okay? And we're gonna keep it concise. So here are some examples that you guys can use for the hook. So how to benefit in some amount of time without some type of pain point, right? So for us, that could be how to find undervalued properties in 10 minutes or less without needing to call a real estate agent. Want a video idea that's gonna set it off, or a subject line that's gonna set it off? For sure. So that's it, right? Second one, hate to do something, but you still want to achieve this thing, you gotta check this out. So hate wasting time viewing properties that definitely don't come close to meeting your needs, but you still wanna find that dream home under market value, you gotta check this out, okay? This one is awesome because I think people are lazy. The lazy man's, or the lazy woman's, or the lazy millennials, whatever way to get their desired outcome, right? So an example of this would be like the lazy millennial's way to search for homes online, or the lazy millennial's way to find the right agent for you. And they're like, that's me. That is me for sure, right? And then we have what to never do when you're looking to do whatever their desired outcome is, right? So let's say social media posts. What to never do when you're looking for condos in Mimico. If I'm looking for condos in Mimico, I probably want to know that, right? So those are the things that are going to stop the scroll or get me to be like, yeah, that's me. And then going back to our earlier point and coming full circle, if I sent you an email that said, what never to do when you're searching for condos in Mimico, and I open it, now when I call someone, what do I know? They're probably looking for condos in Mimico. So you have some type of insight as to how to segment your database a little bit, okay? So where are we using this? Subject lines. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a tool, I'll show you the tool at the end, but subjectline.com. Should definitely write that one down. That shit is free, and you put your subject line in, and it'll give you a score, and it will rate your subject line, and I think it's analyzed, I think it's at like 1.5 million email subject lines. And it will give you a score on your subject line based on how highly likely it is to get opened. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the lead-in then. So now we have a hook. Someone opens my email, okay? How do I get them to keep reading the email? Because that's one of the biggest challenges. They're like, oh shit, did you just clickbait me, or what's the point here? How do I keep going? So we also need a very strong lead-in, which is considered like the second hook to get somebody to continue, right? So it keeps the reader or viewer engaged, or it keeps their attention. And the main purpose of the lead-in is to generate enough curiosity to get them to keep going. That's the only point of the entire thing, okay? And so we'll talk about the 5 types, and you guys can take these 5 types and you can put them in ChatGPT and it'll write you your lead-ins. Okay? So there's 5 main types. You lead in with a massive promise. Okay? In this, one for Tom's video. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to do something amazing. Right? Problem solution led. We're gonna go through a couple examples here. Lead in with a massive secret that they want, right? Lead in with some type of shocking message, or lead in with some type of story. Okay? So again, promise. I'm gonna show you how to do X in under X amount of time. If I wanna know how to do the thing, and I wanna do it in 30 seconds, I'm gonna show you how to drop off your deposit and be able to accomplish everything in the next 2 hours so that you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. Perfect. Right? Highlight a problem. Got a weird feeling in your gut that whatever it happens to, got a weird feeling in your gut that your neighborhood property values are gonna go down? Let me show you how to fix that. Do I actually think that's gonna happen? I don't know, let's find out, right? A big secret. The oldest profession in the world still makes the most money. It's interesting. What is the oldest profession in the world? Interesting, right? X number of, how about this? 300 first-time buyers, back out of their deals every single year. You're like, oh shit, why is that? Okay, well, that's gonna continue, that's gonna capture my attention to get me to continue to read on, right? And then you can go with storytelling, right? So 3 months ago, my clients were in XYZ position. They did X, Y, and Z. Now this is where they are today. Paint the picture of where they could be. Okay? Those are lead-ins. So we have the hook to get them to open the thing. The lead-in gets them to continue to read the thing. Okay? And then bullet points. I think bullet points are too overlooked, is what I would say. When you're putting together your script, you said that you got 3 points, right? Always 3.
Yeah.
No more, no less.
Just for my own, just needed to keep it 3.
Okay, love it. So bullet points, especially we talked about people opening emails on their phone. So if you're not going to do a video, even in the video, in the script, I'll still do bullet points because I'll say these are the 3 things that we're talking about, right? But if you're going to write an email, it's going to help improve readability. They're very easy to read on your phone. And if there's a quick little hack for writing email templates, I would always test it on mobile before I test it on my computer every time. Because it's always really easy to read on your computer regardless. But if you can't read it easily on your phone, immediately they're scrolling out of it. Okay? So the main kind of importance about bullet points, they improve readability, they highlight the benefits, they emphasize key information, and they kind of just aid people skimming. They don't actually have to necessarily read the entire email, they just look at those 3 bullet points. Okay? So the best bullet points promise some type of outcome or benefit without actually revealing how to get the thing. So that's why they want to take action. That's what the next step is going to be, right? The best way to do it is to write as many as possible. And if you're going to use ChatGPT or you're going to use AI to help you write them, I would be like, write me 20. And then I would go through and I would only pick the best 3. Or I'd make the best 3 or 5. But if you're only looking to make 3, I usually feel like I'm missing the mark. So I want to write like 20 of them, or have the assistance of another tool to write 20 of them. And then I want to pare it down to the ones that I actually think are going to hit home the hardest. Okay? So a couple examples that you guys can take and use as well. So, the 3 major mistakes people try to make when they're doing X, right? How to protect yourself from a landlord taking your deposit. The truth about, first-time home buyers downtown and why they can't afford to get in the market. A financial technique to help you be able to purchase in the real estate market more affordably. Right? What's holding most people back from buying properties in 2023? Right? A weird yet powerful way to get a discount on a property. All of those things are very like, I kind of want to know a little bit more about this. Right? And then the last thing, like I said, was the call to action. So I think most people miss the call to action. We send an email and then we hope somebody's gonna do something with it. Or we send a video and they watch it, but we don't tell them what to do at the end of the video. People need to be told what to do, because otherwise you'll be like, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. How many times have you said that? Probably said that 20,000 times at the beginning of my career. And then guess what they think? What thoughts do you want to know? And then they start to think like, well, this is probably a stupid question, or maybe that's a stupid question, or maybe he doesn't want to know that. He probably already knows that. She already knows that, whatever that happens to be. When you say respond with X, Y, and Z, that is how you get those, that is how you start to get these. Has your criteria changed? Fill this out and let me know so I can send you the appropriate properties. Done. Right? I didn't just say, let me know if your criteria has changed. I said, fill this thing out and send it back to me. Right? So with a call to action, it needs to be very clear and concise. Tom, what's your usual call to action on your video?
It's usually, if you're looking for more information, go to the first link in the description. And it's always book a time with me that works for you.
Perfect. Right? He didn't just say, book a call with me. If you want to chat, book a call with me. It's go to the description, go to the, like very specific, go to the first link in the description, click on it, and there's an opportunity to book directly with me. Much better than want to book a call with me? Scroll below and book a call with me. Go to the first line of the description below, click the link and book a call with me. Very specific. And it seems like it almost seems like, oh, okay, it's ridiculously simple. But people will be like, well, where do I book a call with you? How do I do it? And then guess what? They get a notification on their phone and all of a sudden they're on to something else and they forget to book an appointment with him because it's too hard to figure it out. So you want to make your call to action as specific as possible. And so it's going to guide them, it's going to encourage them to actually take the action, it's going to increase your conversion rates, because they're going to know what to do and it's going to be easy, and it's going to prompt their decision making. Right? So we talked about a couple below, but like for a video, you know, Tom's is better. Book a discovery call to see, you know, what market, if any, even makes sense for you. That if any introduces some like neutral language around sales about like it might not even make sense for you. Right? For an email, reply here with 2 things that are holding you back. I actually have that as one of the emails. I think that might have been the guy that responded to me earlier today. And it was like, what's the one thing that's holding you back from making a decision right now? And it's like, I don't have a down payment. Cool. At least I know. Now if I want to send him more information to help him save, I can send him the right information so he doesn't unsubscribe. Okay? Then for a client, book a call here, and I'll usually hold my finger up so I can point to the thing if you need me to run you through these next steps again. So that they know. It's okay to book a call with me. I just made this, I just formatted this to make it easier for you. So I actually wrote this when you were talking about the home tax. You can use this as a little email, right? This is everything that I just gave you guys. So, the lazy man's guide to the Toronto vacant home tax, right? Got a weird feeling in your gut that you might get hit with another tax bill from the city of Toronto? Let me show you if you may or may not. How to protect yourself from paying if you don't need to, and normally what I would do is embed a video in here, right? Major mistakes some homeowners made last year by not filing their taxes or whatever, and then the truth about why they implemented this tax in the first place. Click below to watch the video to see if you even need to pay. If I'm a homeowner in Toronto and I want to get someone to know who I am, are they going to watch this? Probably. Because I don't want to get hit with another tax bill, especially right now with this economy. I need to know if I got to pay this shit or not.
In this example, are you using the video as the lead magnet? Like there's an in-between when you're getting the email before you watch it?
The video would be embedded right below, right? So I would do that. I'd format the email like this, and I would say, watch this video below, and I'd have a standard video that I would send to everybody, and be like, here are the things on the website, walk them through, scroll them through, here are the things that you need to know. If you want to learn more about, you can refer them to your lawyer or whatever it happens to be in the call to action, Okay, so that's one way that you could get more leads to appointments if you wanted to do it that way, right? Now, what I would encourage you to do, this is pretty timely, so you could do this and store it for every February. And you're like, this is one of the emails that I send out every February, unless they change the rules, right? I don't know if they're gonna change the rules. But what I would do is, I would encourage you to look at your database or your business and see how can I actually implement something that isn't going to change and just send this email out over time. And that I build the video once and I don't have to do it again. So if you guys want a super secret hack, swipefiles.com. Okay, I'll share that with you in a second. So swipefiles.com is basically a repository of some of the top marketers in the world and like their landing pages or headlines that they've used in the past, all that kind of stuff. You can go on there and you can look at pieces of marketing that they've done in the past, and they're professional copywriters. And if you're looking for hooks or you're looking for lead-ins or you're looking for angles to capture attention, you can take it right off there, Swipe Files, okay? And the other thing I would tell you is, outside of real estate, when you are on Instagram or you're on Facebook or someone sends you an email and you click on it next time and you don't know why, and you're like, I don't do business with this company. What was it that they said? Can you take that thing and use it in your real estate business, or flip it on its head and use it within your real estate business? Because if that shit worked on you, you'll probably get some opens, okay? Now, before you finalize anything, this is kind of like how to vet it before you send it. You can ask this. So I gave you one other question to ask, which is, if I only had X amount of time with this person, what would be the most important things for them to know? Before I press send or live on one of these things, I will say this: have I put the right message in front of the right person, right? At the right time, so at the right phase of the funnel, and then have I actually told them what to do? If the answer is yes to all four of those things, you're done. Just set it and forget it and leave it. Build something else. Don't change it again. You're all good. Okay? All right, so let's talk about some classic copywriting formulas. We're going to talk about two. If you just remember these two, you can write them in your notes on your phone. Sometimes when I have a good idea, I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll be like, this is my idea. Write my sales letter with these formulas. And it just spits it back out and it just puts everything in the formula for me. Okay? So the first one is classic. I'm pretty sure that they refer to this in Glenn Ross, which is, it's called AIDA, A-I-D-A. So it's attention, that's the first thing. Capture their attention, highlight one of their interests, cap it with a desire, what do they want to get out of it, and then ask them to take an action. If you just formulate your sales letter with that, that's kind of the same thing as what I taught you before. Hook, lead in, bullet points, and then action. This is the format that they should be within. Okay? So let's look at an example. Remember this from before? How did I build the script for this thing? I said, hey, sorry I missed you. You signed up for a list of condos. That was the thing that grabbed their attention. Okay? Their interest. If you want early, and this is when, so I was using Habistat for this specifically, which was amazing from a hook perspective. If you want early access to this month's data, right? And I will say X number of properties sold in whatever price point. So I give them a little bit of a snippet of information that they would not otherwise be able to get until the market data comes out next month. And I'd be like, if you want more information or you have questions, book a call with me here. Right? And that was it. I would just write the script, and we'll talk about another thing who uses teleprompter? No? Okay, perfect. It's gonna be a sick little hack for you guys, right? So write the script. You use it now, yeah? Probably the best free app on your phone. I know you don't like it, but we're not all wordsmiths like Tom Story. Definitely not me. And so sometimes I like to write myself a script, right? So that I know what the heck I'm talking about, because otherwise I will get off on a tangent, right? The deposit video, same formula. Congrats, you did it, it's amazing, right? Their interest, how do I go about delivering the thing? That's what I really want to know, okay? The desire, your deposit is protected by the listing brokerage, because they're like, what the heck is happening to my money and where's it going and whatever, right? Sometimes we're like, just drop this check off at this place, and they're like, it's like fucking 100 grand, what am I doing with this? You want to sell them again on it being something that's going to be comfortable for them, right? So your deposit's protected by the brokerage's trust account. And by the way, once you deliver this, you are one step closer to owning your dream home.
Yep.
Right? And then you tell them, drop off the deposit by X date next time, so that they're not like, hey, by the way, it's 6 o'clock, the banks are closed, what do I do? Right? Good. And even if you don't have this pre-recorded like I do, I would still say you should have a script. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're like, I don't want it pre-recorded, it seems like a little too vague for all of my clients, I want it to be a little bit more custom, that's okay too, but you should still have a script so that you're not winging it every time. Okay? And then again, in the corner, there will always be a link to my calendar if they want to book a call in case they've got questions.